Having Nick as a friend is nice. The one time there was something wrong with this house, I was like, I don't know where the reset button is in this entire master. Everything just died on the master and the master bathroom. And I'm looking for
What's a reset button, bud? Explain me that, Hispanic friend. Explain to me the reset button for your house.
So there's a trip button and a reset
button on the outside of the house that the utility company puts in.
Oh, the big red one that says reset right on the side of the garage.
You know, on the little Nick, what are the ones in the bathrooms where you just, it's called a reset button.
The GFI outlet.
GFI.
Yeah, that has
why the fuck would I have known that?
Whoa,
why the fuck would I have known the GFI?
The GFI button does say reset on it.
See? I read it and it sounds like, man, I swear it says reset. Yeah, see, test and reset.
Good God.
I was so confused. I was like, wait, is that, maybe I am retarded, which I am.
I'm figuring.
How the f am I going to know that, Rich?
He's just taking screwdrivers and poking it in his panel, just like hitting different breakers, trying to create a short. Where's the reset button like the router?
Well, there's now in my master bathroom where the problem was, there was no reset button. I was like, why did none of these have a reset button? I text Nick and he's like, go to the other bathroom. There's probably another bathroom with it, just
right above it.
Do you have a guest one? I'm like, yeah. So I go in there, it's going to be right there. I walk in there. This is on a different hallway, and then sure as shit, I hit it. It fixes everything. I'm like,
cheap.
Thank you.
Cheap contractors in those cookie cutter neighborhoods will run all the bathrooms in the house off of one GFI because it saves them $20.
Will they really?
Wild.
Yeah, like because usually bathrooms, when you have a multi-story house, they're kind of stacked right on top of each other, just so the plumber doesn't. Yeah. Well, the electricians, if they're shitty contractors that are doing bid jobs, they'll pick one bathroom to put the GFCI in, and then they'll put all the other bathrooms on the load side of that GFI. So if the bathroom on the second story trips, it trips out both bathrooms. You got to go downstairs to reset it.
That's garbage. That's garbage.
It really is.
It's wild. Wild.
I had to install some in my house.
I'll put some in your house.
Well, no, I had to. My house was built in the 80s. Like, I didn't have, like, they're like, you're supposed to have GFCI near all your water. And I was like, yeah, I'll get to it. And I've been just, every time I have to work on one of them, I'm like, let's just change it out.
Yeah. It's not that hard to change them.
Yeah.
I've got old knob and tube. Do you have old knob and tube?
No.
Do you know what knob and tube is?
No, I've never even heard of that.
Nicholas, you could do a better. You don't know what it?
Oh, I know. I'm intimately.
Oh,
aware.
okay. Can you do a better? Can you do a better job of explaining it than I am?
Yeah. So
please, Richard, go on. Since I didn't know what an RDFI thingy was,
you explain the fucking story. The dumbest Hispanic ever can't even do bathrooms or electric. What
I read reset and that was perfect.
Hispanic. You probably can't even do tile. What's the point of having you around?
Oh, perfectly straight tile.
You know what? Yeah, you probably would be a big tile.
Be the most in line tile of all time.
So knob and tube is kind of smart, but like it's got an interesting premise. So knob and tube is basically you have one wire that's a hot wire, and it runs throughout the entire house. Now you might have a couple of these wires, just singular hot wires that run through the kitchen and the dining room, or like 2 bedrooms in the second floor. But the premise is you have a singular hot wire, your charged wire, that runs through an area of the house. And then you have a singular neutral wire that runs alongside that, 2 separate wires. And they're connected to like your floorboards and in between your joists by like
porcelain.
What's that?
Porcelain.
Yeah, by porcelain. So if you can imagine, when you see like the massive like electrical towers that have like lines running from them that are like football fields long, and they've got those long like glass like holders that hold these massive lines. Use glass as like an insulator. So that's what the porcelain does. So the porcelain acts as an insulator that they drill into the wall, and there's a porcelain hub that goes over it. And these hot and neutral lines run and sit on them. And then basically wherever you want an outlet, you just tap into the hot line and the neutral there, and then there's an outlet. And if you want to get rid of it, well, then you remove it and you tape up it, or you want 30 more. You just tap into the hot line and then tap into the neutral line, and there you go. So it's kind of like a well, where if you know where the line is, you can put endless amounts of outlets on it. But the bad thing about it is like it starts a lot of fires. Because like the insulation goes away from like the 50s. So like I mean, I've got them in all my old houses, and I've taken them out of some of them. The ones that I redo, it's all ripped out. But even now in Buffalo, all over Buffalo, there's like old knob and tube, and like the gauge wire is super thick. It's like 10 gauge wire.
You know what's interesting is I know of a system like that, not in houses. I grew up on cars, but like in older vehicles, they're very similar. We just call it being wired in parallel instead of in series.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I know it as.
Nicholas, any fun knob and tube stories?
Oh, it's just a nightmare to work with. I mean, it's horrible. It's the insulation back then, because they didn't like put rubber or plastic on it. So it was literally fabric, and then they dip it in tar.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So like that rats and shit will eat through it. It causes all kinds of fires. It's a nightmare.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of women being helpless, my sister's trying to move into the same town as me, and I've been taking my sister to look at houses with my wife, and don't ever let your wife or sister or any female you care about decide which house to buy without you there. Cause bro, we walk into a house and it's like, the house is from like the 1990s. And it was like, you could tell it was like styled older than that. So it was like whoever built it was probably in their 50s and built their dream home. But they had older tastes. So like all the carpet is like 70s style, you know, like that dark brown and fucking blue and green, and there's wallpaper. It looks hideous.
90s and green carpeting was just that my parents had it in their room. It was like a sign of wealth.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Wood panel too.
So like the house is, aesthetically atrocious, but like it's solid. Like everything's good with it structurally. It's got
still got drywall.
Wiring.
Doesn't have lath and plaster.
Yeah, it's got
the
all
wiring's
the good
like
shit.
older, but still great.
Right. Walks right in. Absolutely not. Go to a different house from 1900. And the woman.
One of mine.
The woman that lived in this house just like did a bunch of cute Pinteresty shit to it. Like bought shit from TJ Maxx and stapled it to the wall. And she had a wall that had a chalkboard area and blah, 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 blah. I go in the basement. It's a limestone walled basement from the 1900s. All the concrete's sideways. It doesn't even have a breaker panel. It's got a fuse panel from the 1940s.
Ooh.
Yes, I was going to talk to you about that. Go on. I have a story about that. Go ahead.
You do not want this house. You're going to spend, it's 3 stories and it's got knob and tube. You can't, this house is garbage. And they just but it looks pretty. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, I love
this is why,
oh my God.
This is why Kia is in business. Complete dog shit, but they look cute. It's like
I had a conversation with my dad today. If it wasn't for getting in the ass, being gay wouldn't be so bad.
Objective.
What? I mean,
yeah.
Then you're just hanging out with your buddies, Ethan. Think about it, right?
Yeah, I didn't think about it like that way. But Rich, it's interesting. We're talking about houses, and I know you love crack houses. I know you adore crack houses, but I have something
close
a little
on
bit.
One tomorrow.
Oh my God.
Congrats.
Well, there's one. I don't want to say how close it is to me, but it's in my same area of town. And I think
Does it have good Wi-Fi?
I don't know. Maybe.
Move.
Goddamn. But so the house is in pre-foreclosure. No one has lived there since 2023.
Oh.
And because in 2023, this guy shot his wife in the back with a 12 gauge. She ran upstairs, somehow surviving at that point. He then
shot.
Yeah, no, he then
used bird shot.
Right,
I
he's bird shot on his wife.
And then
What a dick.
You really hate somebody then.
Right? You're going to feel all the years of pain right now.
he then, I think one of my dogs farted. Jesus. He then went into the backyard, killed their pets. Their kids ran out.
Oh.
He then Oh no, he then went upstairs and shot her point blank in the face with the 12 gauge, killing her.
Well, that'll get you.
And then he got into a shootout with the police, and he was on life support for a little while. Now he's completely dead, but the house is vacant. I think it's right up your alley, Rich. Suicide by cop house. There you go. Crack house to suicide by cop house.
Oh my God.
What's
I
the
hope that
price?
bitch haunts that house and I can play NFL loud as I want and
my
just
God.
ruin it. He's going to be sitting there dead, burning in hell. Just like, My first house in the city of Buffalo, I was 19. I got home from Iraq and I looked at my dad because I moved back in with my parents, and my mother had changed my room into the computer room. And like, you want to feel like movie PTSD sadness. I went up into my bedroom that had a couch in it now and the computer. And I was like, I'm not wanted here. I was so crushed. And I can look back and laugh at it now, but wow, what a weak mental moment I had. Thanks, Mom.
You were 12 at this moment?
I was 19.
Oh.
So I get back from Iraq and I'm like, oh, I don't want to live here anymore. And my sisters are around, and like literally after the first week, I'm like, yeah, I can't. I need to live on my own. This is too much. And I talked to my dad. He's like, you know what you should do is you should get a really cheap double. Live in one side, you rent out the other. It pays for your mortgage. Maybe it pays a little bit more. And I was like, that's brilliant. Which kickstarted my entire crack house entrepreneurship, which goes on to this day. So I had this awesome, like, this house's floor had a no shit 10-inch wave in it. Like, you would be at the front door and then there'd be a 10-inch hump and then it would dip.
Hell yeah.
And dude, nothing stayed flat on the floor. It was, and I'm not joking when I say it was 10 inches. It was 10 inches in the living room alone. But I bought it.
Bump for kids. They gotta slow it down.
I bought it for $45,000. So I get it for $45,000. Well, great deal. It's literally across the street from the college I was going to, Buff State. It was right across from a massive parking lot. So I'd wake up, I'd brush my teeth, and I could walk to classes in 10 minutes. And I was like, this is great. I love this. I'm like, all right, I wonder how much of this house I can fix up and how much of this is just I get to live here for free and then sell it for about what I bought it for. Maybe a little bit more as the market, ebbs and flows. So I have an electrician buddy come over, friend of a friend. We've drank before, and I'm like, hey man, the house is old. It's got knob and tube. Just as a heads up, I'm just trying to see like if I can update the breaker panel, the breaker box, because I don't know anything about anything. It looks bad. He's like, yeah, sure. I'll stop over. A case of beer, right? Case of beer, comes over, looks at it. It's all the fuses. It's all those old bull plugs.
Edison fuses. Yeah.
Yes. All the old ones where you can like see into it like it's glass and just see if the thing fries. And they're like mismatching all over the place. And he just stops. And without joking, I mean, because he's a little bit of an interesting character. Without joking, he goes, is this place insured? I go, yeah. He goes, good. And I'm like, why? He's like, nobody would ask a question. I'm like, how bad? He's like, I could put a rag in this right now and you'll make all of your money back. This is the worst I think I've ever seen. And he was like, he'd been an electrician for like 12 years. I'm like, what do you mean the worst you've ever seen? He's like, I don't know how it's working other than it just isn't starting fires. And I'm like, oh, that's not good. He's like, no.
Good God.
I don't know.
Yeah, so,
I'm shocked more people don't die from electricity with the stupid shit I've seen people do.
I'm disappointed.
So the same fuse panel you had, there's Edison fuses and there's fuse stat fuses. Edison fuses, they screw in like a light bulb and they're the same size as a light bulb. You could literally screw a light bulb into this thing and run 20 amps across it.
Oh, can you do that?
You physically you can, you shouldn't, but like it fits. That's where the issue comes in. So
what happens if I do?
The light bulb will burn out immediately. But here's the problem: is people would because it's such a big hole. Whenever people were tripping a fuse or burning out fuses, they'd just go down there with a penny and shove a penny in it. So now there is
I've
no
seen
fuse.
that.
And that's how you light your house on fire.
That's how you just go from green to gold.
Yeah, they came up with an adapter. It's a much smaller, like half the diameter size for this fuse. And all you do for a fuse stat fuse is there's a Edison to fuse stat adapter. It's porcelain, and it screws onto the fuse stat fuse the first time. And when you screw it in, you hear it click, and that adapter locks in place, and you can't pull it out. That way, once you adapt to it, you have to keep using these fuse stat fuses, because then you can't shove a penny in there and it's safer.
Okay.
Some dude was renting a house, and I showed up because he broke a fuse off in the panel, was what he told me. So I show up. He's downstairs in a wet basement, like the floor is sweating, on concrete, barefoot, with a pair of needle nose pliers that don't have any insulation on the handle. And he's trying to pry the fuse stat adapter out of a live panel. I'm like, stop. You're about to die. Like, just get away from it. Like, it's not
He's
broken.
just going to feel a tingle.
Once. For a second. Dear God.
What a unique feeling you'll never feel again.
Dude, probably the worst. I've absorbed a lot of voltage. Okay, like I always shock myself. I always forget to unhook power.
I don't
like
believe it.
Oh yeah, I'm. In case you didn't know, Rich, I'm a little retarded. Just a little. But we were in when I'd first gotten to Malajad, Afghanistan. We had like air conditioners. We had this it was 1,000 kilowatt generator, had like a nice display panel and shit. And we were on this other cop. One of the air conditioners for one of our tents go out. And me and my buddy LaRue got tasked by the platoon sergeant. He's like, look, you guys are rednecks. Like, just go try and figure out what the hell's going on with it. And I was like, sure, why not? Because that being a redneck and knowing, like, growing up with nothing automatically qualifies you to mess with electricity. But I digress. And we opened up the side panel, and there was the breaker. And instead of tripping, it melted.
Good.
So there's this hot wire just sticking off, and my stupid ass goes, I was like, oh, here it is. And I grab a hold of it, and I took 220. Oh my God, dude. I was numb from like the elbow down. LaRue thought it was hilarious. I did not find it nearly as funny. 220 hurts.
Yeah.
Ooh. That was no bueno.
Wake you up real
Bro,
quick.
better than any coffee in the world, man. I tell you. 220 hurts.
I was a kid in a pool, like just goofing around, and we plugged a radio in using an extension cord. Okay. And I kept trying to change the station, and I was grabbing the antenna, and I was like, man, why does my whole body hurt when I grab this? I grabbed it like 6 times, just trying to figure out if I was stepping on a bee or why the magic box hurt Ricky so much. Magic box hurt Richard. Why magic box not playing music, Richard? Why?
Millions of years.
Richard, no.
Millions of years of evolution gave you a nervous system to let you know when something's hurting you, and your dumbass just keeps doing it because you want to know why it's hurting you.
Why? Why magic box? Why you hurt Richard? You know?
I love how
it took me like 6 times, and I'm talking about like over a minute of being shocked. And just being like, why does my body hurt? And just releasing until I realized, I'm electrocuting myself.
I love how Rich goes just default anger. Like, I hate this box. Why is it doing
It's the fault. It's electricity's fault. Bro. Why you hurt me?
Lewis in the news box. Man.
Some of the old dudes that I like learned how to do electricity shit from, they're crazy. Just because like electricity's come such a long way in like 50 years. You know, we've gone from knob and tube to where we're at now. And like these dudes will go up and they'll walk up to a hot panel with just bus bars. Like the thing that the breaker clicks into, giant plate of copper. And they'll just walk up to it when it's hot. It's just 300, 200 amps running through these bars. And they'll just walk up and be like, and they'll just touch it. As long as they're not touching anything else, it won't shock them. Because they're insulated because they're shoes and they know that. Like they'll just do wild shit. I used to know one guy didn't carry a meter because he would touch whatever he thought was hot with his pinky and then touch the ground with his thumb. And he could tell you what voltage it was by how much it shocked his hand. he'd be like, it's 208.
Doesn't that cause nerve damage a little bit?
Yeah, it's probably why he kept doing it. It hurt less every time.
Have you ever?
Nerve damage is a skill issue.
He's self-medicating. That's all he's doing on the job. It's like, oh, I need it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You ever see the movie Down Periscope? That guy Nitro, who's just shocking the out of himself for the entire movie. That's exactly what I thought of when you were telling that story. It's like he just knows because of how much electricity he's absorbed.